Mr. Maestro, my friend, my brother, before we say anything about this, I do believe it's season 2 of this great show that you are part of. I have to say, man, I am so happy for you and proud of you for what happened during the Junos and the fact that you got inducted into the Hall of Fame. As you always said, it's not about just making music, it's about making history. You continue to do this, which is one of the reasons why I wore our team hat, Steelers. I wore our team hat, Steelers, because they're champions, and so are you, my friend. You're a champion. Congratulations
Thank you,
on
thank
this
you, thank
amazing
you. I
honor.
mean, the Raptors was once we did it a while ago, on the NBA tip, our city where we support. But yeah, on the NFL tip, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. You know,
Man, how did that whole process feel from getting that phone call to finally getting your flowers and the performance and everything else? How did that feel?
it felt great, but at the same time too, I didn't want to let hip hop down. I didn't want to let down Jordan Rudder and
Mm,
Jordan Rudder and Gemini. I didn't want to let those two
yes.
beautiful sisters down because they were the ones who produced the show for me, the whole package for me from
Wow.
everything. And shout out to Omega Mighty as well. She helped out a bit too as well with the choreography and stuff later on for the particular show and particular performance. But like Jordan and Gemini, those two, I kind of felt like I was the Black Panther, and they were like the African warriors, the sisters, like just making sure that I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And I'm forever. I'll be grateful for them. Definitely.
And it's funny because I saw her when I was leaving, and I can't remember the venue at Halifax that Cardi had the big party for you because I was in the crowd for that. I saw her there. Now I know what the connection was. How did that party feel for you, man? Because that was Jumpstart.
You the one with Scratch Bastard? That one there? That was
Yeah,
dope.
yeah, that's
That
the
was
one.
dope. That was dope. Listen, that was the only time I went out that whole weekend. I went to my sister Mel Boogie's the Black Brunch because that was like she was celebrating
Yes.
me and what have you. But I made sure I paced myself because I knew right after the Junos I'm going to change, and then we're going to hit the strip. You know?
It was great, man. And then as you wear the Raptors, you got your flowers with the Raptors too, man. Like
Yes, yes,
celebration after
yes, yeah. That
celebration.
was great too. Rudy, it's a lot of things, man. To me in life, it's like I feel I'm being rewarded. I must have done some good things in the past, and I feel life is pretty simple. Treat people good, great things start happening, and I'm grateful to you. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been in my corner for a long time. You can't forget Cardinal's speech. That was the greatest hip hop speech introducing somebody getting inducted ever. You know what I mean? And then like he made me nervous. Like maybe no, he made me more nervous. You know what I'm saying? And then later with Classified rocking the tape
Oh,
cassette on his chair.
oh,
You gotta be, and then like the whole thing with the dancers, like the musicians, the Scotian crew, everybody was a beautiful thing, man. So it was great.
no, it definitely classified. Oh man, he showed me the cassette.
Yeah.
It was like that was probably one of the coolest things I ever saw, man. And of course I was trying to get a hold of you, and I know you were busy, but you finally did see the picture I posted. It was the first picture of you and I taken in a professional radio interview. And it was like we were young, man. And that was literally about what, 30 years ago, which is scary.
Time's flying, and we have to be grateful for every day I wake up I give thanks, man, because that was the Hall of Fame, and that was great for hip hop, and now that shows what my musical peers think of what I've done for the last 42 years, and now I got the Governor General that shows what the
That's
country
right.
is thinking about me. You know what I'm saying? But I think one of the reasons is because of the resiliency and being able to like diversify. Like you mentioned the show being in the second season. I'm talking if you talk a race against the tide, we in the fourth season, man.
Fourth. Okay.
Fourth, yeah, yeah, we're in the fourth season. Like time's flying, man. Time's flying. I wasn't on season one. That was Sean Magender. But then they had me on season two, and I must have done something right because they kept me for the rest of that. So I'm very excited about season four. It's a well-oiled machine over there, and it's one thing, you know, being a musician where you have songs, you can hear songs right after you record it, mix master, you can hear it years and years and years later. Because I say, don't make records, make history. But these sculptors, they make these monumental sculptures that are going to go down in 6 hours, man. They're
Yeah.
like the tide is going to knock them out. Like, I don't know how you could get like fall in love with your work, fall in love with your craft, and knowing that that tide is going to wash it out. You'll never see that again. Never. That sculpture you made, you will never see again. You'll never be able to touch it. You'll never be able to look around. Obviously, you could take photos with it, but it's gone and it will never come back. You see what I'm saying? So that's a different type of artistry altogether and mentality in terms of creating art. You know, so hats off to all those amazing world wide, you know, world renowned sculptors, man, world class sculptors, man. They're amazing.
Let's take a step back to explain to folks what the series is about and how does it work and how you're connected with it.
I'm connected. I'm just a host with the most, but these
Mhm.
world class sculptors, man, they build sand castles, sand monuments at the Bay of Fundy. Now, the Bay of Fundy is not too far from where I live in St. John, New Brunswick, but it has the highest tides in the world, man. The tide will go out. You have 6 hours because the tide is coming back, and the tide doesn't care how good you can rap. The tide doesn't care how who you are or whatever like that. What you accomplish, it will destroy everything in sight. So that's the concept. So when I put up the yellow flags, it's not the terrible towel. You know what I'm saying? Like for the Pittsburgh Steelers, this is like the yellow flag saying you got a warning that you got 3 hours left because that tide is coming back to get you. You know?
What have been some of the difficulties that you've seen from these artists, and I can call them that, the sand artists? What are some of the tough things that you've seen them try to do that maybe it didn't work, and then they tried something else and that did work? Because, like you said, it is a race against time. It's a race against nature.
It's so metaphorical for life. So if you don't have a solid foundation,
Mhm.
you could try to build these huge high sculptures, but if you have a firm base, it's going to crumble, man.
Mm.
And as it crumbles, how are you going to adjust? Isn't that so symbolic of life?
Yeah.
Because that tide is coming. It's coming. Like it's so symbolic. This is what we have right now, right? So if you go through your life and you don't have a solid foundation, foundation could be symbolic of your team around you. The symbolic, it could be symbolic. Foundation could be your team, your family, your co-workers, whatever like that. You don't have a strong foundation. You could try to build as high as you can, but things will crumble, man. And how much time do you have and the wherewithal to be able to adjust? I've seen people's stuff fall because they overlooked just the concept, right?
Mm.
And I've seen them. Some have been able to redeem themselves, and some they're gone. We got to get the tide. The tide is turned. You got to get off the beach. It's a wrap. It doesn't matter what you did yesterday. You see what I'm saying? So
I,
the collapses are very. Those are the people love the collapses, but I kind of feel bad for the sculptors, to be honest.
I'm just curious, is wind a factor in
Yeah,
this too? I mean, just not just wind, but weather. Is it a factor on the
absolutely,
days
man.
you're
I remember
building this?
season 3. The weather wasn't the greatest. We filmed that like that was the latter part of the summer,
Mhm.
and borderlining hurricane time. So that was tough. It was yeah, hurricane time. You know what I mean? So I remember the very last day we finished. We just gave everybody pounds, and we got into a car and drove because that hurricane was coming.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So
Um, is it now? I want to make sure folks do know this. Is it teams doing this? And if so, how many? Or is it just single people doing this?
teams, teams. So it's teams of 2.
Teams of two. And where are they from? Is it just Canada or around the
Well,
world?
you got if you want to look at the whole everywhere we dealt, we had people from Africa, India,
Wow.
Netherlands, Denmark, um, Quebec, Vancouver, like or BC. You had people from like Holland, Asia, South Asia. You have people from all over the place, man.
Wow.
Like a very eclectic bunch of sculptors. Obviously, the states. New Mexico, different parts, man. And the thing is, they know each other. It's almost like they know, like, hey, how you doing? How's the kids? I ain't seen you since 1978. How you doing? So this is a subculture we know nothing about, fam.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it's dope.
What? Not giving away. Oh no, I'm not going to talk about this season because I want people to be surprised. But past seasons, what has been one of the sculptures that you just did the wow factor on and going, I can't believe you did this in 6 hours? There's probably a lot of them, but was there one that stands out?
Yeah, one of them was an illusion concept, right? So this team did 3 sculpts. So one looks like a man's face, but then right behind it you see hair. Then right behind that you see ears.
Wow.
So when you look at the side of it, it was 3 different ones. It was a man, it was a monkey, and a lion.
Wow.
But it was like this, like this, like this. So the illusion of when you look at it in front, you see something totally different as if you look on the side or whatever like that. That just kind of blew my mind. Pause. But then also the ones that were going on angles like that, like the architecture. So it's going straight, but it's going on an angle like that. I don't know what they were smoking, what strain they were smoking to come up with that. But it was like some. It's just the concepts, man. They actually make that come to life. Beautiful.
So as we're wrapping this up, what can we, without giving away too much, what do you think this new season is going to be like for us to see?
Season's just more intricate. Some of the best artwork I've ever seen in my life, man. It just keeps getting better and better, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's an
Brother,
honor to be on the show. I'm going to miss the cast and crew. It was great working with them. Who knows if we come back again? But that'd be a beautiful thing as well. Race against the tide.
your luck seems to be that it's going to be another season because you've never given up. You've always stepped forward, never backwards. You've always
Thank you.
not just represented, but you've always helped people also at the same time.
Thank you.
There is too much good around you for not having more good happen in your life in the future. As we wrap this up, what advice do you want to give either future host or future artist or just anybody who is waking up, and thank God they're being able to wake up in the morning and they're going, okay, I need to do this today. What advice can you give?
Well, I'm going to say, you said I've helped people. People have helped me. And I think that's what we can do. When you forget about your struggles and you help people along the way, watch how you get rewarded, man. And I think when you look at what's happening with me, especially within the last few years since COVID, moving over here to St. Awesome, doing all this stuff. And it's like I started doing a lot of volunteer work, helping a lot of people. And I feel they've helped me too. And I'm being rewarded, man. And we're here now, man. So I can't wait for people to see season 4, Race Against the Tide, shot right here in New Brunswick.
I lied. One last question. It was a question I forgot to ask you on the red carpet. And I kept saying to myself, I have to ask you this before we go. If you want to see another hip hop Canadian legend next to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, who would it be and why?
I got a few. Cardinal, because he gave me the greatest introduction altogether. But why not the Dream Warriors? Why not Drake?
Yes.
Why not? There's a lot of artists, man. There's a lot of artists. Drake is doing some incredible work globally. So I'd love to see him to get that one day too as well, and just keep it going forth and forward, man. Like I said, we don't make records, we make history, and it's an honor to be part of the history of Canadian hip hop.
No, you were the first to win that Juno. You're the first to be inducted. It is much deserved, my brother. Thank you for the journey, and thank you for letting me follow as it moves forward. Congratulations.
Well, let's see if the Pittsburgh Steelers will move forward too. That's what I want to know.
There you go. Exactly. Thank you again, my friend.
All right, peace.